Alrighty, hello guys, welcome back to the stream. Boeing Dirigo 207 Gaming, not Boeing Fan 727 no more. So used to saying that. Happy Saturday to y'all. Hope you all are doing well. We're gonna be jumping into the Carrabassett today and gonna be working on stream number 55. Wow, this is loading. My cat is gonna keep meowing because I had the window open, and heaven forbid if I do that. Because now he wants to go outside and he realizes he's not an outdoor cat anymore. You can keep meowing all you want, but you ain't going outside. That's what really need to get those screens fixed. It's going to be probably on my list of things to do this weekend is get those screens fixed. So that way I can have my windows open. But regardless, hope y'all are doing well. Like I said, we're jumping into stream number 55 here on Let's Build the Carrabassett Valley Railroad on Trains 19. Today we're going to be working on, we're going to be doing some just a little bit of detail work around Bigelow Station. I have that area mostly where I want it to be at this point. I think I just kind of need to like wrap that up, walk away from it, and then maybe come back at some point and, you know, not hyper focus on just the minor details for now. I kind of want to get the broad scale done and then kind of come back and see what I need to do at this point. Because right now I'm hyper focusing on, well, what else does this area need? I want to complete the seam, but the thing I'm getting disappointed in is I realize, like, oh well, crap, you know, like I'm getting the seam done, but I'm not getting much anything else done. So that doesn't really bode well for me. So we're gonna be working on just a little bit of maybe just seeing what else I can do around Bigelow Station, and then we're gonna be pushing northward along Route 27 towards. We're going to be pushing through the rest of the Carrabassett Valley up towards Coplin Plantation, Stratton Village, and hopefully towards Eustis. We're going to be pushing that way anyways. Whether we actually get there or not is yet to be seen. But if we could at least start getting that way, that would be great. If I get a lot of work done, I'd like to do a Caldvon live stream. But I'm going to kind of use Caldvon as like my treat, my reward. For getting stuff done on the Carrabassett for right now while I have the route. Once I pass the route back off to Ethan, if Ethan ever wants it again, I definitely will do some Caldvon live streams then. But for now, Caldvon live streams will only be as a treat for when I actually get stuff done on the Bassett. So here we are in Bigelow. One thing I also need to work on is I was looking here at the environmental settings, and it's not like I remember. It's not bad. Like, this isn't bad. Ooh, that sunray right there. That's nice. It's not bad, but it's not like I remember, and it's certainly not what I want. I think the environmental settings have reset themselves, so I need to come back in and tweak some of those and edit that back to where I want it to be. But looking here at the station, this is kind of what I've been doing. I added just a little dirt access road that kind of comes over and comes onto the ballast for maintenance away trucks to kind of utilize and such. If my voice could not crack. Just a little gate. I probably have to do like a little more fencing in the area. I couldn't find a gate wide enough that actually worked or fit the road at that point. I'll figure out something there. That's just a placeholder at this point. I did kind of widen the gravel lot if cars do want to park over here. I might put like a car that is parked just to signify like cars can park here. A couple of MOW trucks. I may have shown that on the last stream. I got some cars there, just some handicap parking signs, some benches. The benches do go all the way down now. Kind of added these, just a little bit of bush. Little shrubbery right here. I don't think it ruins the scene too much. Sean does want to do a canopy at the station because it's in the mountains. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't know. I kind of like the open platform. Despite it snowing, everyone who's going to be up here is going to be dressed for the snow. I did work on this road coming down the mountain some. Didn't do a lot of texture work. That's not permanent. That'll be changed. But I put in a guardrail. And I put in a retaining wall that kind of rides the road as it comes down. Then the road continues down the mountain. Then it ends up right here at Route 27, just outside of the what is actually the Bigelow Station for the former Sandy River Range Lake. That's about as far as I got. I haven't done a whole lot else. Just been kind of plucking away. Like I said yesterday, if any of you tuned into my baseball live stream, you'll know that I was sick these last couple days, and I've had no motivation whatsoever. Have not worked going that way. Mile marker 38. And I have not really worked going northward. So I'm just looking here. The only other thing that I could think of that this station needs is probably platform lighting. But if we're going to have a canopy, then that will be solved. So I don't really think we're going to need platform lighting. Pardon the noises in the background. Me drinking, trying to hydrate. So I don't particularly see the need to do that, because that was something I was going to work on. But again, if we're going to be putting in a canopy, then I don't really see the need there. So I guess at this point, I'm probably just going to go ahead and start copying and pasting foliage. And I'm trying to keep it close to the tracks for now. I don't want to venture too far out. Like, I could probably go up the top of this hill and get, maybe some of this hilltop kind of terrained up a little bit. But on that, I'm not really too concerned. So let me make sure the grid is set to 5 meter instead of 10. To get these areas all set. So they're all set to go. So one thing I want to just talk to you guys real quick about is these little patches right here. Now you see these little rectangles. These are ponds of some sort. I don't really know what they're there for, but those are ponds. I don't know what their actual purpose is or why they were put in, but this is the land for the Carrabassett Valley Transfer, which the actual transfer itself sits here. Now, a transfer station, I guess I can pull up the actual definition. So a transfer station, we use a lot of them here in Maine. I was talking with Sean, and he didn't really know what that was. Oh, crap. Am I going to need to reload? I am going to need to reload. That's one thing I hate about this, is that every time I change the grid, it wants me to reload, because it guffs up, which is very odd. So we're going to have to reload back in. Anyways, so a transfer station or a resource recovery center is a building or processing site for temporary deposition, consolidation, and aggregation of waste. Transfer stations vary significantly in size and function. Some transfer stations allow residents or businesses to drop off small loads of waste and recycling, and may perform some preliminary sorting of material. Other transfer stations are places where local waste collection vehicles will deposit their waste cargo prior to aggregation or loading into larger vehicles. These larger vehicles will transport the waste to an endpoint of disposal in an incinerator, landfill, or hazardous waste facility, or for recycling. Transfer stations can be publicly or privately owned. They vary in size from small regional sites managing less than 1,000 tons a year to large sites managing over 200,000 tons a year. Transfer stations are sometimes co-located with material recovery facilities, landfills, resale shops, and with localized mechanical biological treatment facilities. That is the Wikipedia definition of transfer station. We have one here in Saco. We call it the Saco Heath. They have them all over the place. There's one in Waterboro, Maine. I think I passed a couple heading up towards that location. I know I go by the Dayton transfer. There we go. So this is basically where Carrabassett Valley comes to drop off their trash. So covering a pretty large area, which would stretch from about, I would say here, would come down, covers a pretty significant area. Not a lot of people, but given Sugarloaf is right there, it's a pretty significant area. So we will have to put that in. Now, the thing that I want to look at is rail service. So one thing that I noticed with this area was this little patch of land right here, which I thought was a sand deposit. It is not. It's just a field. I was talking with Sean about possibly just fudging a little bit and saying it's a sand deposit and putting a little quarry in here, but I tried to do that, and the logistics of doing this is a nightmare, considering we're on a slope. So I think, all in all, I would just prefer to put the a transfer station and just have the transfer station be serviced in here. It would be broken down into a few categories. Um, might all be just done on one track, uh, but I'd like to have one for, because people can bring anything. People can bring junk metal, kind of appliances, so those can get kind of broken down into scrap and then sold off by the city. Um, just regular old trash, recycling. People bring bags of cans. Those cans also just kind of get sold as scrap. So I think it'd be worth maybe having um, a car set out for scrap, and then maybe just a regular 52-foot gone for just trash, and then hauling that away or something like that. Or maybe two 52-foot gons for trash and one just for scrap metal that just sits here until whenever. I don't know, but I think it'd be worth doing that. So that's something that we are going to look into as we push this way for the Carrabassett Transfer Station. And like I said, these ponds, I'm not sure why they're here, but they'll probably get included. Um, like I said, why they're there, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Howdy, Wisconsin. Welcome back to the channel. Yep, we had a bit of a channel name change. With something a little more generic over Boeing Fan 727. Might not be able to recognize the channel name, but you probably can recognize the railroad name. So one thing I am going to do here is I am going to cover up the tracks. That's a pretty thick tree cluster. We'll stick with it for now. So of course I will open the tracks back up. Once I push along, I think I'm going to copy some of this tree texture. I think the texture is kind of guffed up a little bit up here. Because I think I put them down and then I switched to a 5-meter grid. So just to make sure. I think I will just grab some. My computer is a roaring. What trees are those? So these trees, so the Carrabassett upon initial release is going to be going for a fall look. So it's a mixture of, you have these CL trees, you have Forest Autumn 32, you have, let me see what else we got. We got CL Fir. This is a tree set that Ethan put together, or dummy stick. Kind of have a mixture of trees. Need to be utilizing some more kind of these 3D-esque trees as we roll along. So I don't know if that's something he did in the areas down this way. He kind of did right up against the tracks. At least in areas that scenically made sense. I guess that's a word now. No, it looks like he did just right up against the tracks, so I guess I'll have to kind of put some 3D trees in when I come back through. For right now, I'm just getting the initial paste in. Yeah, for 2D trees, it's not a bad mix. I think it gives, you know, the color, I think it gives a nice look. So, um, yeah, I think despite being 2D trees, I think especially with the shadows and everything having a shadow, it gives a nice kind of depth to it. Unlike Tane, and I didn't think I'd ever say that about Tane, you know, oh, well, Tane didn't do that, you know. 19 does have a leg up on Tane, and I will admit that, um, especially in this area, just because with the shadows, it like I said, it gives a extra dimension to things. I've kind of noticed. Um, you know, I've been noticing things just tend to look a little bit better just because you actually have the sun casting onto it, and it produces a shadow, so it gives it kind of that extra little more bit of realism. So by doing that, it's like, oh, you know, man, that valley would look nice with a steam engine. Yeah, you know, that's something Sean and I have talked about. Or, well, Sean has talked about. I wouldn't say I couldn't care less, but I don't know anything about Steam or, you know, Steam programs. Sean's very big on the roster, as you guys might have been able to tell. Um, so he has talked about doing a Steam program for the Carrabassett Valley. I know we have a QJ painted up, but my tender doesn't work. Actually, see if I can't pull it up real quick. That's upsetting. Hold on one second. Get my Gundersons to work now. I mean, there we have this. My tender doesn't work for whatever reason, which is quite annoying. But Sean was thinking of having a QJ, which I'm like, you mean we can? Anyways, but Sean was thinking about is the roster updated as of late? The roster is updated. We had a pretty big, well, Sean in one of my last live streams, he went on for a long time, a very, very long time, about the roster. And, yeah, it's up to date. The locomotives I have, I don't have all my locomotives still. I'm still kind of waiting on people to finish those up. We do have some commissions out. We've actually been sinking money into this railroad, so now I'm at a net loss thus far on this railroad, so I'm attempting to figure out what to do going forward. Another thing I'm also attempting to figure out going forward is where the Carrabassett's going to go. Because I was a part of control point simulations. That is now gone. Thanks to the class ones and their bullshittery. But now the control point simulations is gone, you know, the Carrabassett doesn't really have a forever home. So, trying to figure out exactly where to go. Yeah, Carrabassett losing money. Shock. Um, you know, I was going to try and maybe join a buddy of mine, or newer friend I've made kind of through Control Point, Cole. I was going to join him in kind of a route builders coalition for wayward route builders who don't really have a place to go. Sean has sensed he's been able to go over and join Trains Forge. Trains Forge, I mean, they're good people. They make good content. I don't really know a lot about them. There was a guy over there named Evan. I forget his Trains username. Me and him have had a difference in opinions. Just back in the early, he was part of the back shops early on, and I think just we're two totally different people, and I kind of took it a little too far. I definitely kind of gave him a hard time all the time. I ended up getting him my stepdad is here. Nope, never mind. He's just turning around my driveway. Okay. Cool. He knows I hate that. Get out of my driveway. But so me and him had different opinions. I kind of got him kicked out of the back shops just because I felt he was too immature. And he didn't really respect, the brand enough and who he was and whatnot and whatever. So I kind of got him kicked out of the back shops and whatever. Like I said, just me and him are two totally different people. We clashed a lot. But Tobes, why are you meowing suddenly? Hi. Hi, why are you meowing all of a sudden? What's going on? Huh? What's happening? Are you a cat? Oh, he's a cat, folks. Oh, what's all this meowing for? What's up, Sir Meows a lot? No. You can't meow. Alright, hold on. I have to take a mandatory Toby pet break real quick. What? You know I'm live streaming. Okay, go be a cat. Come back to Narm with me. I think I'm all set. So yeah, I went Narm. Where did we go after that? Went Narm, back shops to Control Point to, well, nothing. Well, technically, kind of sort of down east trains to Control Point to now nothing. So, like I said, I was going to join a Route Builders Coalition, but the problem with that is the guy who wants to do the Route Builders Coalition is partnering himself with Trains Forge. And the members of Trains Forge have noted that I and Evan don't get along. So, kind of my karma's come around to bite me in the ass. Which is fair, I was a dickhead. It is what it is. And, Evan's been in Trains Forge much longer than I have. Or would be, or, he's been in Trains Forge much longer than whatever. So obviously, if that's a concern, then that's that. So I don't really have a place to go right now. One option is I am considering reopening Down East Trains and making that kind of official. I know Sean said he was kind of working on the site. It is kind of a little sad because if I do go that route, I won't really have Sean over there with me. He'll be at Trains Forge. So I'll just kind of be on my own again. Or, well, not really again. This will be my first time on my own, which I guess it is what it is. We did I think Sean talked to Joe about maybe going through his site, but his only problem is he has the payment set up to his PayPal and stuff. I'll make that just a small little opening in a field. So just the logistics of paying people and stuff like that would just be a bit annoying to him, or just a bit of a problem in his eyes. So that's a no-go. Yeah, there's really no other trains groups that I could think of that I really A, would want to join, or B, could join. Because the problem is I'm a one-trick pony. Uh, all I do is route build, and even then, none of my stuff's been released. And that was also something Trains Forge mentioned, is I don't have anything released. Like, I have not released a route. I have started plenty of projects, but I have not released a route. And I haven't even made a lot of... And something that I've noted is I haven't made a lot of progress on any of my projects until I've gotten a lot of help. Now, I can sit here and argue, well, I have a large project, but again, the argument comes up of, well, you should have bit off more. You shouldn't have bit off more than you could chew. So, I don't think I want this dirt road here. So yeah, I'm just kind of at this point now where it's like, all right, well, I guess I'm on my own. So I think that the Carrabassett at this point probably will end up going on to Down East trains. I just have to kind of look at the website. Like, I don't really know. I don't know where all the Carrabassett content's going to go. I don't know if all the trains are going to end up on Down East. I really don't know. It'd be nice for a change to have all the the content located in one area, because that's something I've expressed over the years. Is I kind of want all the content to be centralized. Good. Now my Gunderson stacks are all better now. So yeah, I mean, at that, who knows where I'll be by the time the Carrabassett's finished? Who knows when the Carrabassett will get finished? At this point, it's kind of the big thing. Is like I don't really think anywhere's gonna want to suddenly snatch me up the minute I get the Carrabassett done. Because who knows? Maybe I get the Carrabassett done and I'll say, fuck it, I'm not, I'm done route building because this is taking a long time. This is a big commitment. I mean, I'm sure I'll route build again, but if I do route build again, it's going to be nothing close to this scale. And even still, after the first release of the Carrabassett, like once we release the whole route, we then want to do different versions of it. A snow version, a summer version. So the snow version is going to take a while. So the Carrabassett is going to keep me busy probably for the next at least 5 years. It's just, in what way will it keep us busy? That's where I'm at with the MWMR, 295 miles. Yeah, that's about a Carrabassett size right there. Carrabassett's, I think all in all, from end to end, is about 300 miles. I mean, tonal scenic area. I mean, Ethan has most of this area scenic, so that's a couple of miles right there, maybe 3 or 4. He has the areas around Lac Beginnix, is maybe another 2 or 3 miles right there, kind of scenic. Sean has St. Augustine to Woburn, kind of, scenic. There's this little section here, maybe a couple miles up through this way. So, but realistically speaking, we have a few areas along here scenic. Phase 1 runs from here in Kingfield all the way up to Mechanic. So we have this whole section to scenic. That's a pretty big section when you look at it. That's probably, at that rate, that's a pretty decent chunk. Where this is a pretty ambitious chunk of the route done. I mean, it's a pretty also sparsely populated section of the route, but it's also one of the most scenically challenging areas of the route, because not only is the terrain varying, but the foliage is also varying as we pass along. Hell, we pass into a whole different country along this section of the route. So scenically speaking, this area of the route is quite challenging. I don't know why the train's like that. Just kind of looks ugly. But yeah, so that's kind of the big dilemma that I've been thinking about lately. Is what am I gonna do? Because I thought we had a pretty promising future, and I'll admit I definitely have been kind of leeching off other groups to kind of gain notability. Um, I've been trying to set myself up in a good position to release this route whenever it's done to a place where it's going to get as much traffic as possible. Now it's definitely going to come down to kind of the people I know buying the route and telling their friends. It's going to be a definite word of mouth, and it's going to be a lot of advertising. And that's what's going to come down to is really advertising this route. Maybe with some luck, Joe would help me out in that realm, and use his kind of credibility and his notability in the trains community to kind of bring some attention to the route. I don't know. Wouldn't ask that of Joe, but if he ever decided to or wanted to, that would help me out immensely. Jaden, you and Sean be proud. I'll definitely buy it. Well, I'd appreciate that. I mean, for long time viewers like yourself, I mean, I would appreciate that, considering you guys have been around. God, I mean, I think you guys have been around. I think you've been around and viewing my live stream since I was hand building this route. So I have Toby fur all over my keyboard. And I say, I feel like you've been viewing for a long time. But yeah, like I said, I think the most obvious option for me is to go on my own and whatnot. Like I said, I even appreciate the Trains Forge guys even having a conversation about me at this point. Um, like I said, I understand why they would have concerns. I haven't released anything. Also, I've had beef with one of their content members from the past. And definitely been a big believer, especially in as I've been going forward in life, about karma. Karma definitely has a way of coming around to bite you. So if you want good things in the world, you got to put out good things. And well, maybe I didn't necessarily put out some good things in the world. And I'm not going to say Evan's not entirely innocent, but I'm certainly not either. Uh, I definitely may have picked a bit more of a fight with him than often, instead of just ignoring it and turning a blind eye. But you know, such is the way, and we go forward. I hope like I said, I don't even really know the Trains Forge guys. That was something I was talking about Sean. I'm like, because he had maybe mentioned potentially that being an option. I'm like, but I don't even know these people. But he also said that was kind of the issue of like, me in general is like, oh, I just got your pictures of your route there, Wisconsin. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's a nice yard. I like that bridge. Ooh, I like that. That's a nice bridge. Nice, just nice. That's very nice. I like that. Very good job on your yard. Sorry, I have streamer mode turned on my Discord, so if you send a message, I probably won't get it. Unless I just happen to check. So the thing I want to do is maybe back these trees up off the ballast a little bit. Just a touch. I don't want these trees necessarily in the ballast. But yeah, so one of my biggest things is like, I don't know any of the Trains Forge guys. Like, I can't really think of any members off the top of my head other than Evan. I think Mike. I think Mike's a member. Yeah, that's about it. And I've never seen Selkirk Yard. Probably driven by it a bunch of times, but I've never actually seen Selkirk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy watching a train go by. I do partake in the right place, right timing, as I tell Mal, which is another fancy way of saying foaming. But I don't usually go out of my way to find trains. Like, often I'll find myself, and this is nothing against, my buddies Logan or Scott or Mal or anyone like that, but it's like, I'll often find they'll get into talks about trains, and I just tune out. My ears just turn off. And that's that. I partake little to nothing in the conversation, because at the end of the day, trains aren't my first kind of passion. I don't like or love trains the way they do. So when they get into a conversation, often it's like me a long time ago talking about aircraft. But I've realized lately, I don't really have a lot of people I talk to about aircraft. Like, predominantly, I spend my time a lot in train servers. But people get talking about trains, and I'm just like, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. Cool. Cool story. And that's about it. Like, I just kind of tune out. Or I just, I don't know if tune out's the right word, but I don't know. I'm just not as interested as they are. Like, I know enough about railroads and I know enough about trains that if I see something I like, I get excited. I know some train horns well enough to know, like, Like, I've definitely picked up some secondhand knowledge from Sean and the guys. But like I said, predominantly, I'm just like, I'm over here, my head's just like a newborn child just bobbing back and forth. I'm like, struggling to keep it upright. But like I said, that's just, I think that partly comes to the fact of that I just don't like trains like they do. I like trains, but I mostly like them from this aspect. And I'll go out and watch them, like I said, but it sucks, because I want to sit down and have talks with my friends, but all they do is talk about every single night. And it's fine, because I think it's been said before, it's like, yeah, it's kind of the friend server, but I think it's come up between other members of the server. Hold on, I gotta send this to Kayla. But it's like, yeah, it's the friends server, but most of the people in the server like trains. So it is what it is. I mean, it's like they get going about this, that, and the whatnot, or this dome car, or this, steam engine, and this preservation project. Like, Logan the other night, I come in there, and I guess Union Pacific did something, or they sold something, or they donated something, or I don't know what. Like, I don't want to say I couldn't care less, but I also just couldn't care less. Just because, oh, I don't care. It just doesn't pertain to me. So, none of my friends are going to care when I tell them the Vickers VC10 or the tanker variant, just got scrapped, and it's one of the last, flying examples in the world. And instead of scrapping these beautiful aircraft and these industry-changing aircraft, these aircraft that really made a mark in global aviation, we should be preserving them in a museum somewhere. But instead, here we are scrapping them. If I told them that, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that sucks." Anyways, same concept to me. I don't talk to them about classic aircraft or this, that, and the whatnot, because again, I don't particularly think they care, because it's not something they know, and that's fine. You know, they've asked me questions about airplanes before. I've been involved in some train conversations before, because again, I'm not a total idiot. But long story short, because now I'm rambling, but it's like Logan was going on about Union Pacific donating something to some railroad museum somewhere. I think it was a Challenger or whatever. And of course, when I say Challenger, I think of like Dodge or the Space Shuttle. And I know those aren't the same things. Like, I am very well aware of that. But when people are talking about the train, the Challenger, I totally think of the car or the Space Shuttle blowing up. Like, that's my thought process when I hear that word Challenger. Or I think of the private jet. There's a private jet called a Challenger. So apparently Union Pacific donated an exploding space shuttle to some scenic railroad somewhere. And I can't even keep a straight face. It's just so dumb. There we go. That looks nice. So yeah, hold on. I like this this brush set he used, because it's nice and thick, so you can't really see into the forest. So right up against the track, it's very nice, but you get out into the forest and there's nothing. And I think that's going to help on frames. But anyways, not to get too sidetracked. But yeah, so or not CSX, UP donated an exploding space shuttle or a Mopar Magic, or whatever, to this railroad and stuff, and apparently it's causing people to really lose their shit. And Logan, we got in a call, and he goes, "Well, I suppose both of you have heard the news." And it's like, a lot of news out of the day, buddy. Got the Ukraine still going on, all this other crap. And he talks about this railroad, and I'm like, I think it was like 3180, or I don't know the number. I don't know the number of the train. But he's going on about it, and he's like talking and talking and talking, and I'm like, yep, can't say I've heard of that. And he's like, really? And it's like, yes, Logan, I've never heard of that. I don't know much about trains. If it's not something that I see every day, or if it's not something I use on the Carrabassett or whatever, and if it's not a train I'm interested in, I don't know. Especially steam engines. I don't know a lot about steam engines. Steam engines are cool and beautiful, like, don't get me wrong, like, they are beautiful pieces of machinery, and that's definitely something that I think is more than worth preserving. And I've always thought that for a very, very long time. Um, I think they're a piece of human history at this point. So I definitely think they are more than worth preserving. But I just don't know anything about them, so it doesn't serve me to know this information. So I don't know train numbers. Like, there's ones I do know, like Crazy Eights, because everyone talks about Crazy Eights, because it ran away. Um, I've run away before, and no one talks about me. Oh, dark joke. Anyways, I need to eat a cracker now. Gonna just schmunch on this saltine real quick. Mm. Like, I've kind of figured out wheel configurations. I think like an O or a 440. So there's like two wheels on each side for that kind of bogey, I guess. So it goes two wheels each side, two wheels each side, no wheels out back. So just a 440. I think that's how that works. I could be dead wrong. Um, I know Sean's explained it to me because I've asked him like, what do these numbers mean? But yeah, I know he's told me. I'm over here like, uh-huh. Words. Words come out of your mouth. Words make sentence. Sentence nice. And Sean makes lots of sentences. He's very good at that. Ooh, I want a birch tree. I need a birch tree down here. Not enough birches up here. Must be a lot of these bitches. I mean birches. Yeah, same thing. Bitches and birches. That's a big old birch. That's a bitch and birch. That's a birch and bitch. Hey. This is why I'll never be monetized. Not like I want to be. Yeah, put a birch over here. Get this station of birch. Ooh, I like it because it's like leaning a little bit. That's cool. But yeah, so that was just something I noted the other day with the whole trains dealio. Is like, I don't know locomotive numbers, and when there's news in the railroad community, generally I only find out about it through Sean and Logan and all them. But whether I retain that information or not is yet to be foreseen. And I hate, and I know I'm sounding like I'm a huge dick, and I probably am, but again, it's just, this is information that to me does not apply. Like I said, I don't go screaming to them every time I hear about a classic airliner getting scrapped or whatever, just because, well, it doesn't matter to them. And I know that they're probably not going to listen. Like, I've droned on enough times for them to just be like, Jesus Christ, shut up. We're getting around. We're getting somewhere. We're not really making a ton of progress, but considering I've been streaming for about an hour now. I'll do more with that field in a little bit. I'll probably actually just put a rock. That's kind of my signature thing, is putting a rock in the middle of a field. It's kind of main at this point, especially on this mountain too. I would assume there would be a rock there or something. But my main goal right now is to kind of push along the trackage. Just get something at this point. One thing I should also maybe take a look at. One thing actually I should also do if we've been streaming for an hour. Save. Now would you look at them apples. After all these years. wanted to take a look on Google real quick. Opens Google. See something about Serbia showing off new Chinese missile and display of power. Immediately begins to hear remove kebab. I'm just taking a look at the street view real quick. I know you guys can't see. So heading up the road, it's definitely more, it's still mixed at this point. Definitely pines and conifers. Looks like some definitely leaning a little more towards piney. This is back in 2011. Wow, the car has not been up here since 2011. It's a long time ago. So, long as it all still looks the same, that is fine by me. I mean, to me, you're not really being a dick. It's just that you're not engaging what's being said. Yeah, you know, that's how I hope it's coming off. It's just... It's kind of like when Sean plays World of Tanks. There's nothing there for me. So, you know, I just kind of tune out, or oftentimes I just leave the call. And that's different, because ugh. It's like he gets so mad at his teams and stuff like that, and it's like, you know what you're getting into every time you open it up. So honestly, it's like, I almost want to tell him, you don't have a right to get angry. You're playing World of Tanks. It's the same shit, different day. I've played this game with you. And I think I've only won because I was playing with you. But shut up! I don't care. He's like, Jesus fucking, this fucking team, oh my G, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you going that way? It's like, Sean, shut up. No one cares. Well, this team, exactly, we just don't care. Your team sucks. You say it every day. Well, they do. We know that. Ask us how we know that. It's all in good nature, though, but, like, I've just gotten to the point where I just don't enjoy listening to him freak out, so yep, there we go. I just don't enjoy listening to him get all mad and angry, so I just leave the call. And that's partly for my own sanity. Like, that's not me being a dick. That's just me, like, preserving my mental health. Oh my god, I almost have a mile of trackage built, or scenic. Oh my god, guys, like, I think I'm dying. I must be dying. I have to be dying. There's no way I almost have a mile of track scenic. Yep, I can quit the project now. I can get, like, oh my... I almost have a full square scenic. Look at that. I almost have an entire square full of trees. I'm quitting. I can quit and go home. I'm free. I don't have to work on this anymore. He said, knowing that he's still stuck on this project. Alright, let me go back to Google. I'm going to go on my laptop this time just so I can... Celebrating Route 66. I used to live along Route 66. Go to Maps. Go to the Bassett. Alright, let's see. I need to look more at the transfer center. So, like, there is something about these ponds. I just can't really figure out what. I'm going to visit the website for the Carrabassett Valley and see what it says about, like, yeah, it's ran by Waste Management, but there is an antenna, which sits right about her. So I need to get an antenna. Nope, here he goes, one for wanting it again. So I actually calculated 2.5 squares, so 2.5 squares is a mile, roughly. But yeah, that's about a mile. So I'm actually, if I get this square done and this square done, and then I do about half this square, I'll have a mile. Hey, Ethan. Speaking of the devil himself, let's see. Go to here. Close. Looks like hammered dog shit, so no. It's probably a little closer to what I want. Not close to what I want. That's probably actually about what I want. I was looking at the shadows, I'm like, what's going on? Oh, it's Toby. Hello. Hello, sir. You're back to meowing. Why? Toby, you should just be like I like my women. Silent in the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. That's horrible. This is why I'm single. Should never ever say that again. Pretty sure my cat just ripped ass. That's great. Proud of you, Toby. So proud of you. Okay, hold on. He demands pets. He demands the pets. Chupa, 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 chupa. You're a cat. You are a cat. Good job. Oh, he rolled over. That's his one signature move. Oh, he did it again. Oh, he did it again. Look at that. If I had a Toby cam, I'd probably be able to make a lot of money that way. Tobias Floyd. Knock off this bullkittery. Alright, so we're going to go and grab a gravel texture. I'm going the wrong way. I know, Toby, I stopped petting you. It's like I'm doing something. But you know, it's when I'm not doing something, it's like you never come bother me. I sound like I'm talking to my ex-girlfriend. Like, I feel like this is an exact conversation I've had with her. She asked me to do something. Okay, I'll get to it. She asked me 10 minutes later. Well, I haven't gotten to it yet because I'm not done doing what I've started in the first place. Well, I asked you to do this. Okay, well, it's going to get done. I just need to finish this task first. It wasn't anything huge. Well, when I ask you to get something done, you should get it done. Well, I'm going to. You have to give me a minute to go do it. It's always funny telling my dad these conversations that I would have with her. Because in his eyes, it's just him reliving his marriage. Ethan, would you care to jump into a call while I do this? Maybe you can talk about your life while I sit here and try to jump a railroad. See, look at me, using people again. Wow, I'm so good at that. If Ethan is still there. They might still be in school. Well, no, it's Saturday. He wouldn't be in school. If he's in school, there's a problem. If he's in school, someone needs to get that man some help. Hmm. Alright, so I need to look at the transfer facility itself now. So it looks like just a series of collection of, or it looks like a collection of small buildings. So I know Jordan Rail would definitely have an asset that could use for that. Let's go JR. Now, whether it's payware or not is the question. That's one of their waste core assets. Dumpster. So it'll be one of these. It sits. So it's a little bigger than I want, but it fits the bill. Say I'd be one of these, so just trying to figure out how the hell this is gonna work. Probably gonna have to level this area. It's gonna be some playing with terrain height a little bit. Love how that mountain looks over there. So majestic and beautiful. Alright. So this is gonna be a difficult one. Just because I don't think I've ever really dealt with anything like this before. So obviously looking at it, being to a transfer station before, there is always something like this that I think loads into dumpsters or something like that. I think this is kind of meant more for a rail service area, I think. Check that theory. So I think I could be totally wrong. Which, if that's the case, then if we do rail serve, then we can kind of change the area around a little bit. And something just tells me I don't think that's gonna. Forget the size of the dam hopper, or the, I think they're spline cars, I think. Yep. Let me just put spine cars. this is on level ground, actually, that would pretty much work. Hi, Toby. Yeah, if this is on level ground and still slightly lower, that would work. What do you do, sir? What do you do? I don't really think that's exactly what that's meant for. What, Toby? Why do you meow at me a lot? What are you gonna do? Alright. I just want to test that theory. So maybe, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to save this so I can always revert back. So it looks like we're going to do, it's probably going to raise this up. I'm going to sink this down, probably lower the train a little bit. We'll probably actually lower this down. It doesn't need to be so high, because it'll probably end up just being for trucks. At least in some capacity. So yeah, we'll lower this down. See if I can't get a truck in here. That's definitely not going to fit a truck. 53. I'm going to have to level this terrain out because it's not going to be on a slope. Yeah, that should work. You know, I want a fire tonight. It's a really nice night. So I'll level this out real quick just to kind of make the area all smooth. And I'll play with terrain transitions here in a little bit. And the area is definitely going to be on a few different levels, and especially these ponds. I think these ponds are something to do with water, or what the hell's over here? I call this Lone Bush Hill. I'm losing my sanity now. I'm so going off track. Yeah, so we'll do that. So that is really close. So I'm going to raise that up a touch. That's fine. Beautiful. And the only issue is this area, which I could probably lower this down. Leave that. And then lower this side down, so that way the transition isn't going to be so rough. So what I want to do is raise this up. Alright, so we have that. The things I do. Lucky for me that this area mostly is on a 90-degree angle. I Might need the grid here for a second. Alright, I need to go grab a road so I can smooth some of this out. Hello! You look fine. You're gonna come back this way with me. That's a thick road. Thick. So this won't be the, oh god, what'd I do? Took that all the way back to the Shadow Realm. Give me the F9. So I want it to go about like this. I'm going to move you to here. I'm actually just going to square it off entirely with the grid. It's going to be close to, you know, what it actually is, but not entirely. Found a nice dirt. Yeah, please refrain from flirting with the Here we go with the refrain gang. I did find some nice dirt. I'll show you in a second. I found a couple different textures. I just kind of spliced them in to make this. Of course, I gotta fence this area off, make a little... I'll use that road to kind of come up to it. But look nice with a freaking mountain in the background as we pass by. I think what's going to happen is, so we're going to come here. So we're going to be coming from the yard. And I think there's probably going to be a small track that comes off over here. Either that or we come this way. I don't really know what I want to do yet. We could probably come this way and just kind of trench through and back up to about the road. Maybe have one for scrap metal and one for just regular trash. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. It's only going to take just a couple of cars, so nothing huge. Back to what I was doing real quick, because I want to just smooth this out. Hold on. Not trying to absolutely plateau the area out. Not perfect, but smooth it out just a little bit. that'll just have to do for now. It's going to end up getting walled in by concrete anyways, so it doesn't really matter too terribly much. Dirtat. Trying to smoothen this all out the best I can. I don't think smoothen's a word, but we're going to say it anyways. Pretty sure smoothen is not a word. There, now I need to lower this area. Erg. I forgot about that. Crepes. So that means I did that all for nothing. Alright. That's fine. Actually, so what we're going to do is we're going to lower this down. Toby, did you just meow at me? I think you did. I think you did meow at me. Really appreciate that. So inevitably that's just going to come down. Bring me that face. I'm going to... Oh! You're so excited. You're going to come up here and be a lap cat. Okay, you're going to run away. He's going to run away. Well, I can't pet you if you keep running away. I think that's going to be too deep, but we're going to find out in like 10 seconds. Oh yeah, that's going to be way too deep. I'm spending way too much time on this. Yeah, that's like insanely deep. Alright. So I'm actually going to take this lowest point here, because I think that's going to work the best. Do my ears deceive me, or do I hear a motorcycle? It is a guy with a small penis. Sorry, I really don't like motorcycles. Hi, Toby. Yeah, I was trying to pet you. We're gonna try this again. You're a lap cat. Yep, you're a lap cat now. Enjoy yourself. Hello. Oh, he kind of likes this. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna become a keyboard cat now. I don't really want that. Don't really want that. Okay. He does not like being a lap cat. So I don't think I did this enough. It's close. We're getting close. Maybe just a hair more down. I just don't know how much further I want to go down. Just these weird areas, God. My computer's like spooling up for takeoff at this point. Alright, let's give that a go. See what that does. I think this will just be enough. Please tell me that's enough. Ugh. It'll kill me otherwise if I don't get it. I think here will be fine. Pushing an hour and a half. It's not bad. Coming up on 2 o'clock, so we're actually on schedule a little bit. Alright, that'll be perfect. This is fine where I've ended up at. We'll just take it. So the next thing I need to worry about or figure out is the transition in level. So what I think I want to do is I want to have trucks be able to back in with their trailers, but the area around it be at its normal height. So we'll have to put a drain or something. So I think that's what we'll end up doing is to kind of get away with this, we'll just back a trailer in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to level this area again, then come down the hill. Because the transition is probably going to look a little stupid, so we'll come to here. Kind of start leveling out the hill a little bit. There, I think that'll work just fine. I will put a concrete wall in the way though. So I'm going to kind of come here. I'm going to turn that all the way down. I'm going to have to back this up just a little more, just to give some more room. Because of course the train doesn't want to play with us a whole hell of a lot, so that is fine. And so what I'll do from here is I'll take a road spline, come this way, I'll level it out, and then I'm going to take a road spline to about here. I'm just going to do that. So probably at this point doesn't look like much to you guys, just because I really haven't done anything yet. Once I start laying some textures down, though, hopefully you'll kind of start getting the understanding of what I've been trying to accomplish here. I mean, some of you might already kind of get the idea of what I've been trying to do here, but again, it might just be hard to kind of comprehend or grasp. Actually, I might want to leave that alone. Just let me go ahead and put that road back. I'm just going to smooth this whole area out. There. And that'll work just fine. We'll take you. We'll take that. That trailer roof is shiny. Holy shit. Alright. So we now have our different levels for this little waste transfer facility. So now the question is, do I texture it or do I spline it? Because splining would probably be a lot easier, but textures I could definitely play around with them a lot more. And I think I'm probably going to end up texturing this area, except for the road that comes through. Which, the road that comes through I think is dirt? Well, it's pavement coming in, I think. Yeah, that's pavement. And then it's dirt through the rest of the facility. But I think for now, I'm going to have pavement coming through. So pavement, and actually technically speaking, there is no way to get from here to there. It's actually just a little muddy path. But for the sake of the argument, I'm going to have a paved path that kind of comes around. I think the pavement's going to circle this first pond. And then it's going to be dirt heading out to these other ponds. But these other ponds are going to get kind of cut off by the tracks. So we'll probably have that. Yeah, probably gonna go texture, but I'll do the dirt road, the road coming in. So let me go grab the road. Wait, hold on. I already grabbed the road. Look at me go, guys. I'm on a roll today. Alright, so the road comes in here. Take a gander at this road. Comes in this way. Hangs a slight left, straight, hooks a right. Then it kind of just comes into the facility. Because we're going to go texture, it'll just kind of come through here. So I'm actually going to drag that more this way, going to kind of keep it along the edge. Kind of give enough space to make textures and make the textures actually worth it without the spline road interfering. We'll come across. So there'll probably be end up a small crossing once we get to the point where we'll have our rail serve. So that's probably all I'll do for the moment. Alright, now I need to get some asphalt texture, so I'm going to go back over to the station. Gonna grab my city street textures that I oh so love to use, and I'm going to start to place them in. I'll start with just one blank texture, as I always do, and then I'll start mixing in different textures as I go along. That is weird. Oh. And this one actually should turn out alright, just because, like I said, we are following the grid, just because this facility is like ever so slightly off kilter. So I just decided, you know what, it'd be easier for me with working with the terrain and stuff like that if I just line it up. Not always will I end up in a situation where I can do that, but looking and judging by the map, I bet you it's only off by about 5 degrees on the compass. So I said, you know what, today we just fudge it a little bit. And for personal vehicles, this is not a bad incline. I could probably actually just bring this out a little more if I wanted to, and I just might. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how I feel. And these areas are usually very wide with their paved areas, just because they're allowing a lot of people to kind of come and go. And there could be a number of people stopped trying to do other things. So down here there will be like some piles of stuff. So looking on the map itself down here, looks like there's some like wood piles with trees growing around it. Then there's some tires. So down here, this will kind of be more like the. I'll probably actually make like a smaller strip of pavement, and this will kind of be more dirt. So there'll be like a wood pile, a tire pile. Oh, I'm sorry. Over here, so there'll be more like a tire pile, a wood pile. They just kind of like, you know, sorted some different stuff out. So I'll transfer that back to a dirt texture here a little bit, or a gravel texture of some kind, maybe a dirt and gravel texture. Fine for now. I do want to get a wall of some kind in here. Kind of something that fits that. This looks more. Let me see. Can I get the light on it? Kind of like these early daylight hours. Kind of need like a concrete wall of some kind. I don't think JR has anything like that, but if I can find something close, concrete. It's a barrier retaining wall. No. Definitely not. It's a slab. You know, honestly. not as bad as I think. Put this daylight back to full. Go kind of into a wireframe view. The only thing is what do I do back here? I used one of those, I think, wasn't terrible. It has a fence. Yeah, I just need to figure out, like, what to do in here. It's kind of also why I was thinking doing splines. I might actually just do spline up here. Just because it would probably work just a little better, especially with the retaining wall. That would make this unnecessarily large. I could always just move this over a little bit. Yeah, because if I wanted a retaining wall on this side, you know, maybe it'll just be a hill. Maybe I'll worry about retaining wall on this end. Yeah, because this side's not as bad. It's kind of more gradual. Probably just put some grass or something. Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Of course, I keep saying that, but just here, what do I do? We could always put a newer kind of looking pavement and say they redid the wall or something. Although the wall kind of looks worn out. I don't know. Back of it, cover the spaces like that. Yeah, you're probably thinking of like FMA. FMA has a lot of splines like that. I do use a lot of FMA. Like, I do like me some FMA splines just because they are decent and they have the fencing. Let me see. Actually, I don't think FMA has the fencing. No, they they don't, but they do have that. If you could find what you're talking about, I will gladly give it a try, just because I'm not sure what to do with that area. This over here I'll just leave as a grass texture, or a dirt texture. Probably grass at this point. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That'll work. This might not, though. Alright, just let me know the asset name or whatever, I can download it. So, for now, I will move on. We'll work on kind of working these areas together, and also how will we get the rail serve part of this in. The thing is, I like this little trench area, this little cut kind of coming through the top of the hill. But the thing is I'm determined to get this area rail served. So we just add just a little extra something out this way. And I would kind of like to have, the rail line back up and onto it over here, which might be able to preserve most of this cut. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. I need to go get a different track real quick. I also should save. We're coming up on a save point. I have not saved in an hour. Actually, before I go make that long journey back, let's take it and save. And if you can't find it right away, Wisconsin, don't worry. I'm probably going to be ending the stream here soon, just because I said I want to be done by 2. It's now after 2. So I'll probably be wrapping it up soon. Oh, here's Toby again. Being a cat. Oh, yes, he is. He is a cat. Oh, no. No. Toby, I think half my live streams are spent petting you. Do you see a problem here, sir? Do you see a problem? Because I do. It's called I don't pet you enough. Just send it in Discord. Retaining wall 2. Let's see if I have that real quick. Give her an old download and see what happens. Oh, yes, more pets for the kitty. More pets for the kitty. What are you gonna do? What do you do? Autobotos. Probably should also check in with my stepdad, see how he turned out, because he, I believe, tested positive for COVID today. I think I already said that, but should probably check and make sure the guy's doing alright. Probably be the nice thing to do.
stop this. You're being too cute. And I don't know how to handle it. He's just happier than a bug in a rug. Really, he is. So this might be too long for what I want, so we'll probably... put the switch there. That'd be fine. You're a Toby still. Chugga 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 chugga. Oh, I got your butt. I got your butt. Chugga 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 chugga. Okay, I no longer have your butt. Alright, let's see, and then the track will probably start coming this way. And it'll probably just hook onto the track there. I will probably put another point in there. To kind of help make this corner more cohesive. You know what, we're actually going to move that up. So I'm actually going to start this way. We'll make an honest run at it. Straight on. And then I will... You know what, why can't more people be like the guy that just rode by on his dirt bike? You know? He's not speeding, he's not, you know, going all out, he's not going balls to the walls. He's just riding his dirt bike, and he's riding it respectfully through my neighborhood. More people should be like that guy. Or break your kneecaps. That junction point might be a little tight. Just a little bit. So we might end up moving it back some. Well, trial and error. There we go. Much better. This grade is fine. I'm happy with it. Oh. Is you sunnin'? Is you a sunnin' kitty? Oh, you is. You's a sunnin' kitty. Chubba 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 chubba. No. Chad dirt bike rider. Yeah. Hey, let me look at that retaining wall real quick. Alright, retaining wall 1. I don't like... Well, actually, that's not bad. That's more for a port, though. Okay. It's, that texture is a little less than I desire, though, but we're not going to see a ton of it. Alright, so let's see. We'll grab a Dece. We'll take it there. Oh. We will not grab a Dece. We will grab a Dece. Okay. We'll grab a Dece. Where'd you go? Wow. Yes, you're a Toby. I see you. You're sunning. You're sunning on the floor. Why don't you go sun in the window? Wouldn't it be nicer up there for you? There's all sorts of sun up there. Oh. Oh, you're batting me now. We're playing? playing. A very happy kitty. Let's see if I can just cover most of it. Make it add like one more point in the middle. There. That mostly takes care of what I need it to. Then I can just put some more asphalt texture in there. It ain't perfect, but it'll work. Hi, Toby. You are a cat. What has gotten into you all of a sudden? What has gotten into you all of a sudden? What? Yes, I see you. The only question or concern I have is that corner. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to do the corner. Oh, there goes Chad Dirt Bike Rider. And I don't suppose it would let me do this. Oh, God, no. Well, that's a nice little car. Everyone's got nice stuff out today. Oh, wait. It might. Aha! It's jank, but it let me do it. Yeah, I'll probably replace that for something, but for now, it's fine. Like I said, it's a good placeholder. If one of the other Carrabassetters decides they want to poke at it, then they are more than welcome to. So, that should be fine. Happy with that. Thank you. Alright, so I also think this should be fine. I just have to get the terrain figured out, so let's see. Here at 46, that's at 464, 469, 40. So 464, 46, 469, 40. That's an increase of 5. So let's see. So that's at 466. That actually comes to 470. 468, 468. So actually, if we hold at 468, so I'm going to lower these down slightly. See what we can accomplish. So we have a 2.85, a 2.94, and a wow. Okay, that's not going to work. I think I'm not switch backing into the transfer station. should be fine right there. That's probably where we're going to see our most even transition out of that whole transaction. Of course, who knows what trains will do when I try to come back in. Now it's on a curve. That's the only thing I worry about, is it's on a curve. Or just lower the entire facility. I wouldn't either. Yeah, I mean, a 1.8 shouldn't be too bad coming in. I mean, it is on a corner, so I'll have to see. And there's only going to be hauling like 1 or 2 cars, so I'm not too concerned. But hopefully it's nothing too drastic. Otherwise, I mean, this is on a slight hill, so I could lower it down more. I'm going to refrain from doing that. There's that word again. So one thing I am thinking of is, oh, look at that nice little cut back here. So we'll probably actually bring it back, and might have to put a retaining wall on the road as it comes by. One thing I am thinking about is, because they are going to be loading, refuse, scrap metal, stuff like that onto here. I was putting a small platform for the little bucket truck to be able to lower in. Point it's totally fine. There's Ethan. He's still here. But also allowing this to be a small team track as well. If there's any use between, for the town to use it, or anyone in the area to use it, they can maybe utilize this trackage for something, given the different things that go on in the area. Don't know, just a thought I had, but that'll come later when I actually get to more proper detailing. One thing I am going to do, though, actually I'll get to that in a bit. So there's these other collection ponds over here, which I don't know if this is like water treatment or what this is, but because I'm looking on it, I'm looking on Google Earth, and there's like a little house that sits next to it. There's like a little building. I don't know if it's a pump house or what it is. I don't know if this is like, I don't really know. Is this like the water for the area? Is this like their water treatment? Is this where their drinking water comes from? I really don't know what this area is. Doesn't really tell me a whole lot about it. Caribou Pond. It heads up this way. It's a funny thing, the Appalachian Trail. I think the Appalachian Trail actually, I think it goes across Mount Washington, New Hampshire. I gotta find that out real quick. Can't really tell. I lost it. Anyways, moving back along. Yeah, it's just bears with 1 and 2 carloads. Get away with 3%. Can you do a route tour update? No, I cannot, David. I think one of my last videos would have been video number, I think it was my Trains 19 update. That would have been, I have to go look now. see. That's not how you spell my channel name. So if I go to my channel and I go back about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, Trains 19 upgrade streamed 6 days ago. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streams in 6 days. That's about a stream every day. But yeah, so if you go back about 6 days ago, last Sunday, I did a Trains 19 upgrade. I just did a tour of both the Caldvon and the Carrabassett. You can get a tour of what I did there. You know what? Here, I'll even link it to you. So you can have that. It's a two-parter, because I think either trains crashed or... yeah, actually, I think I blue-screened. But it's a two-parter. So I will grab the link for you, David. So that's for you. That's my part. That's part 1. And you know what? I'll even grab you part 2. This is a route tour. And yes, Wisconsin, I'll send a roster change to you off stream once I get there. But route tours are not something I take requests for. They're just kind of something I do whenever I get to a big milestone, stuff like that. So I would appreciate it if you stopped asking. Because I don't do route tours until I'm done, because it's not really worth showing off, because there's nothing really done. So if you want a route tour, there you go. If not, you'll get one when you get one, and I'll be sure to announce it if I'm hitting a big milestone and stuff like that, or whatever. And a good way to see a route tour is if I decide to do a Let's Operate, because then you can kind of see the route as I operate along it, as the name suggests. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really kind of appreciate it if you stopped asking for a route tour, because it's not what I'm here for. We're building. We're not touring. Touring and building are two different things. Building a tour, however, that's something completely different, and I don't know what exactly you'd be doing there. A detour, now that's something entirely different. That's something I hate. Too many detours in life. Oh, and it's Toby, and he's meowing again, and I'm like way past my stopping time, but we're just gonna quickly get these trees out of the way before I forget. Just kind of get a look at the track, so it's not all covered. I don't actually know how far up it is. Covered, not too far. You're a cat. Hello. Yeah, so that's for you, David. That's kind of my little, like, please. I'm just kind of asking you nicely. So, I'm trying to be a dick or anything, but it seems like every time you come into a stream, you always ask for one when nothing's really changed. So, like, I think big milestone numbers, like, stream number 50, I did a route tour. Just kind of showed you guys what was going on, which was really nothing. Give you guys an overview. I think stream number 75, maybe. I mean, we're quickly approaching that, so probably not. Probably when we hit stream number 100. That'll be crazy to think about. 100 streams to Carrabassett, which we are more than halfway there at this point. Well, a little over halfway. When we hit stream number 100, I'll probably be more than happy to do a stream tour, or a route tour. Just because there'll actually be, hopefully, something done on the damn route at that point. Or, well, enough to show off anyways. And I like to think I'm starting to make some good progress. I feel like I've made good progress today. 2 hours worth of work, got some trees plopped in, working on an industry. Of course, I'm just trying to figure out how the hell to do it. So, not quite as fast as Ethan, but he seems to just, I don't know, you have it figured out. I don't think I do. It's probably why it's taken me 7 years to get this route to where it is today. Before I even brought you on. But like today, it's like I have to sit down and kind of say, like, you know what?
I'm going to hyper focus too much on the details of the station. The station is in a state where I like it right now. There's still other things that need to be done, like the building itself needs to be renamed, reskinned, and stuff like that. Have Carrabassett apparel all over it. And I'm sure Sean will probably hop on that at a later date. Sean wants canopies at the station and stuff like that. I don't really have a canopy asset I like. So he said one will come later. So at this point, it's like, you know what? The station's where I like it. I'm going to move northward because there's an area. I mean, whether I move north or whether I move south, I probably should actually move south to bridge that gap and then move north. That'll probably what I do later on, is head south towards the gap, towards Hudson Brook and the waterfall area. Kind of bridge that gap, because I think that is closer than Eustis at this point. But try to bridge those two scenic areas, at least trackside. Get the two areas along the track just kind of scenic and detailed. And then we can slowly start pushing outward from there. That's kind of my main goal right now, is just to kind of get the track area between here and Eustis and south towards Hudson Brook, Hudson Falls. Get those areas kind of set up and connected, and then I can start pushing outward. And who knows, maybe Ethan will want the route back at that point, or maybe he'll shoot himself before that point comes, which I hope he doesn't. Please don't do that. Please call me if you ever get to that point. All team members are valuable. We need you. That's not bad. But coming this way, though. Having that mountain right back up there. Looking out your left window, seeing the mountain. Like, that's nice. This will be a nice area to pass through. As we climb the grade. Let's see, 2 hours, 24 minutes live streaming. Well, I think for 2.5 hours, I'm quite pleased with it. It's not quite Ethan level of speed or work, but I almost got a full square. And that's what I'm happy about. A full square. We take the victories we can get them. But I think from here, folks, I'm going to head out. Like I said, I kind of want to go and like to get some stuff done for the day. I'd like to actually clean out my fridge. Like to maybe get my car moved. I'm trying to get a guy to work on it for like weeks now, and he's been busy with work, but it's like I've been on him for a while now. It's like I need my car work done, and he's like, yeah, we'll move it. And I'm like, hey, can we move my car today? Yeah, lol. It's like, yeah, can we move my car? I would like you to figure out what's wrong with it, aside from it being a Ford. But like, I just want my damn car worked on. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. So, I'm gonna go do that. Like to get some wood for a fire. Like to have a fire tonight, although it's a little windy, so I don't know if I can have a fire tonight. I don't even know what the fire danger's up to. I don't know if I have to obtain a burn permit. All sorts of questions. All sorts of questions that I have that I'm not equipped to answer at this particular moment in time. Only 6 hours to go. I know, right? Just walk across the tracks. like that one area where it's like you can see the. It's like right here. Like, I don't know, something about coming around this corner and seeing that. Like that is. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm hung up on that. Like, you know, you're coming along, you're coming up the track, coming up the track, coming up the track, coming up the track, and then just wham, you hit a car. No, just wham, there it is, and then you're like, wow, look at that, and you're coming along, you're coming along, you're coming along, and then it just disappears behind the trees, and it's like, it's kind of like, you know, for me, it's like driving around Maine. Because there are just certain points where that happens, where you come around a corner, you're like, wow, look at that mountain. And then it goes away, and you're like, oh, man. And it's only in that one spot that you can see it because, you know, it's not obscured by trees and stuff. And it's kind of cool to be able to be here in the Carrabassett and be like, you know, actually, you know, I've driven by this area 1,000 times on the route. But actually to be here in the Bassett and see the mountain and go, hey, look, a mountain, you know, and see all the trees around it, and then it slowly disappears behind them, the tree line. It's like, oh, man, that's cool. It's starting to actually feel like home and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's all starting to come together. Like, it's all coming together. So, but anyways, guys, I leave you here at this crossing again. May you foam plenty of trains while you wait for my next return. Trying to figure out like where it looks the best. But either way, it all looks nice. But anyways, may you foam plenty of Carrabassett trains as they come along until my next return. Appreciate y'all for watching today. Again, big ambitions to try to get up towards Coplin Plantation and Stratton, but you know, hey, I'll take what we can get for the time being. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Do consider giving a subscribe if you haven't already done so. Although looking at who's been in the chat, I can guarantee you every one of you is subscribed and has been subscribed for quite some time. But in case you stumble upon this stream and you haven't done so, give that subscribe button some love. Give that bell icon maybe a click. I don't really know what it does, but it's going to notify you whenever I decide to get online. And I suppose that's pretty cool if it does that for you. And yeah, I will talk to y'all in the next stream. So take care. See ya.